Good morning, happy Monday, and if I seem a little out of breath, it is because I just hauled this bad boy all the way to my classroom. Those are all the copies for the upcoming science unit. The new science program we got doesn't really have a book series, or it's not a canned program. It's a program that actually adopts and pulls from a wide variety of sources. There's a lot of aims in here. There are some activities that's pulled from the FOSS unit. There will be a kit coming, although we've heard that line all year. I will kind of believe it when I see it. So I'm really hoping the science kits come, because I am not the only teacher frustrated in this building about science. But then one thing that's a real bummer is that the student books are these, where you have to fold the pages in half, and you've got literally 3 sheets of paper in here, and then you have to staple them. Ugh. If anyone knows, teachers, we hate these little make and take books. I mean, it's one thing to make one, but our new science program is pretty much based on make and take books. So there's like 7 or 8 of these little make and take books that have to be made throughout this unit, if not more. Oh, what a pain in the butt that is. So, although one thing that also came today is my social studies flip chart, because I found something on Teachers Pay Teachers that is going to be perfect for social studies. I'm going to flip the camera around and let this focus. So I'm not doing the social studies book for the next chapter coming up. The next chapter in the social studies book is very long-winded, very on and on and on, and there's a lot of information in that chapter about the East, the regions of the East, that is not part of the Michigan curriculum. However, in that chapter, the reason I've taught that chapter in the past was because it did talk about 3 branches of government: executive powers, judicial powers, legislative powers, and that is part of the 4th grade Michigan standards. So I found this on Teachers Pay Teachers, and it's basically, a page of information about the 3 branches. We have We the People, our Constitution, executive branch, legislative branch, come on, the judicial branch, and then you make this flip book where you cut these out, staple them, and they layer. So each page is a little longer than the other, so this stands out at the bottom. And of course, I'll be sure to show you this when we make these and it's a final copy. But so I like the Lift the Flat book a lot. This will make for a great project and a great study guide before I then write a test on the 3 branches of government. So this was a great way to teach the 3 branches, get in depth in them, let the kids learn about the government of the United States of America without teaching all that other information that just didn't need to be covered, but it was incredibly time consuming. I also have this awesome poster that came with part of my Time for Kids that my Donors Choose project bought, that has a poster on the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. So I figure between the project, the poster, and possibly even a short movie that I find on Discovery Education, something that's maybe 15 minutes long, this will be more than enough to teach the branches of government. And I'm really excited to see how the little projects come out in the end. So I'm going to stop right there, though, because I do need to get started. Actually, I have a few things I need to do, and as you can see, I kind of left here Friday in a hurry. My table is an absolute mess. Time to get busy. Good morning. It is Tuesday. I am sorry I did not vlog more yesterday, but yesterday ended up being one of those days that most teachers can't stand. I had a full day's worth of lessons planned for yesterday, and we'd had breakfast in the classroom, and I was about 30 minutes into a lesson I was presenting, and the phone in my room rang, and it was the computer tech person telling us to come to the computer lab to do NWEA testing that would start in about 15 minutes. So we had to stop what we were doing, put out an activity for those who finish early, get pencil sharpened, blah, blah, blah. We went into the computer lab, took our tests that last like an hour and 10 minutes. Then we came back to the room. I had a really short lesson. Then we went to lunch. We came back from lunch. They went back to the computer lab to take a second NWEA mapping test. We came back to the room. They had specials. I came back to the room, and then the bilingual teacher took 10 of my students to do their WIDA testing. So honestly, yesterday I was able to teach for about 30 minutes in the morning, and I was able to teach for about 20 minutes before lunch. And that was pretty much all I did yesterday. The rest of the day was spent testing and with all sorts of testing. So unfortunately, today's going to be an exact repeat of it. I know this morning to go to the test earlier, so I should be able to get a full math lesson in when we get back from taking our AM NWEA test. After lunch, we will take the fourth and final test. Then they'll have specials, and I already know that they're going to come and take the other 10 kids in the room who speak 2 languages to do their WIDA testing after that. So, yeah, yesterday and today are the kind of days where they're complete wash. You get nothing done but the test. So, and unfortunately, that's unavoidable. The tests have to be done. They're mandated. So there's nothing you can do about it. I just didn't know going into this week that Monday and Tuesday were going to be my days for testing. So I had no warning that, hey, yeah, we don't care what you're doing, but come on down. So, but at least they're getting done. But if we're going to do NWEA testing and WIDA testing, and also the mobile dentist is here taking kids, let's go ahead and get it all done in 2 days. So this way it is done, it is over, and the rest of the week can proceed as normal. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking though, because I do want to pull out a few things today. It's really weird though, because since the children were doing the NWEA testing yesterday, as a teacher, you just kind of sit there. You're not allowed to help them with the test. You can't give them any explanation of directions or tell them what the word says. So the kids are on their own. So you basically, as a teacher, you have to take things with you because you can't leave the room while they're testing. But it's kind of like having extra preps. So I'm like way ahead of the schedule. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing, because this Thursday is our parent-teacher conferences. So I made a list at home last night of some of the things that I need to get pulled and get ready before parent-teacher conferences happen this Thursday. So that's what's going on right now. Not much. My class has gone to lunch. We did our first round of testing this morning, and then we came back and I actually managed to fit in an entire math lesson, which wasn't easy because I swear we had like 5 or 6 interruptions for the math today because the mobile dentist is here. So they were in and out, grabbing kids, dropping kids off, and then my principal's in and out several times today, trying to figure out if it's going to be indoor or outdoor recess. So lots of interruptions, but I did manage to teach the whole lesson. And I wanted to show you real quick the cute thing we're doing for branches of government. So this was the thing I bought off Teachers Pay Teachers, and we're going to start this today. Today we are going to do this one and this one. So we're going to read about the We the People, the Constitution, and the 3 branches of government. We'll read these, talk about these. I have a very short, like a 6-minute video on Discovery Education that we will watch today. And then I have for tomorrow, executive branch. I like to get the executive done and possibly the judicial one. So, and as we cover these, the final product will be to make this, the 3 branches of government, and these are really cute. So this will kind of be like our note-taking, and then this will also serve as their study guide to take home and study over the weekend so that they can take the test on the branches of government on Monday of next week. So that's going to be social studies, and I think I've already showed you yesterday the big poster that I have about the branches, and it's kind of a rehash of the same information. This poster will actually help us a lot in filling out our little flip chart here, because it's everything here in bullet points. So that is the social studies lesson I'm hoping to get in today. I did not get to teach a social studies lesson yesterday because by the time we finished our NWEA test, it was time for specials. And then when they came back from specials, I thought, okay, I can squeeze it in. No. 10 kids left the room to go take their WIDA testing for ESL. So I was not able to teach any science or social studies yesterday. I'm hoping to fit this in today. We'll see. No promises. But it's a several day activity. It's not like it's one lesson. It's going to take us several days to cover that information. And yeah, that's what's going on right now. It is lunchtime. And I think I already said, I'm repeating myself. I apologize. I'm very distracted. And one thing I want to show you is my planner. I have really embraced the minimalism. I have gone from decorating the holy heck out of this thing to really coming down to just a bare bones planner. This is how I used to do my planner. Well, this one I did do because I thought I was going to keep going. And I found that I actually didn't have fun doing it. And so, but this is how I used to do my planner many years ago. I just used to, I don't know, write things in it. Now, but then I kind of got carried away with it and kept getting more and more grand. Now I do have a couple stickers here and there, but honestly, I don't know if this is because of Project Me or because I'm really liking the clean look of minimalism, but I find for whatever reason, I don't want my planner to be just literally top to bottom stickers and washi tape and just a hodgepodge of colors and prints and things. I'm actually just kind of enjoying having a very streamlined, clean look to my planner. So, I don't know. I didn't plan on it this way. It never crossed my mind that when I started Project Me, my planner was going to become something that got minimalized as well. But I kind of feel like minimalism or cozy minimalism is kind of becoming ingrained in my personality and in the way I just sort of approach things now. And I find that I like things to be as uncluttered and as unbusy looking as possible. I like blank. All of a sudden, I like the look of white space and blank space and clutter-free spaces. So yeah, even my planner got a makeover. So I'm going to go ahead and eat my food though because my microwave is going ding ding ding, and that's what I'm going to do right now. My students are at library right now, and I wanted to take a moment to show you how we use the Time for Kids magazines. This was part of my DonorsChoose.org that I did at the very end of last year. I wanted to get nonfiction into my classroom, and I have grown to absolutely love these magazines. I don't necessarily teach them in the order they arrive. This is actually one that was from October, but I held this title until the time arose that I actually needed the title. And I really like this one because today we were working on, where did I put them? Here we go. We were working on cause and effect this week. And so this one had a perfect paper for cause and effects of, how the vultures are scavengers that eat dead animals. What's the effect of that? Dead animals are removed and disease is kept from spreading. So the skill, I tend to hold on to these until a certain skill comes up and then I pull them out. But also, one of the big problems for a lot of my students is that they don't necessarily have access to grade level appropriate magazines or nonfiction at home. They do go to the libraries and things like that, but a lot of times when children go to the libraries, they either pick books that are too easy for them because they like the pictures or they look fun, or they'll pick books that are way too hard for them because they do love the photographs in those books, but they can't actually read the content at a level that they understand. The great thing about the Time for Kids magazines is that, for most of them at least, it is on their level. And then, like tonight, we've now read this article about vultures yesterday and today. We did the activity with cause and effect on it, and we also used this article for a close reading yesterday, where we literally kind of broke it paragraph by paragraph and used our special questioning that I'm learning from close reading from that book I showed you. Now tonight for homework, they will take home the Vultures quiz, and I don't actually grade these for a report card grade because it's not fair. I have several children here who have not a living soul in their house who speaks English and can actually help them with this. But for the rest of the class, those who do, speak English as their native language or have been in the country long enough that they've got a pretty good flow of English, this will be a way for me to send home reading materials and have an assignment with the reading materials that's on their level. It's focusing on questions, and again, the different questions are, you have analyze text structure, recall details, synthesize information, use text features, recall details, identify cause and effect, understand content area vocabulary, and these are all specific skills that we've been working on in class in our Daily 5 mini lessons and in the closed reading lessons. So it's a great way to send home a page of questions on material they've read twice in the room. They can reread it tonight for homework and then answer the questions and use the text to help them answer the questions. So for those of you who are wondering, who donated to the Donors Choose project for the TFK last year, yes, the magazines that you bought for my classroom are amazing. The kids like them. They work really well for a variety of lessons. I've used these magazines to help me with social studies, with science, for reading skills and strategies. So I definitely use them and love them. And at the end of the school year, I have every intention of posting another Donors Choose project to purchase a new set of magazines for next year's class, because they really do work well. And one of the great things about being able to send these home is, because our school is low on funds, I'm not allowed to send home the reading books. I'm not allowed to send home the social studies book. I'm not allowed to send home science textbooks when we had them. We don't even have science textbooks anymore. So many of the student resources have to stay in the classroom, because I've made the mistake. Last year, I let my kids take home the social studies books to do a homework assignment. Well, 2 of those social studies books never came back. I mean, they never came back. The parents were asked to reimburse the school and pay for the books. The parents did not reimburse the school. And the books, they're $60 each. So when a social studies book walks out of the room and never comes back, that just means that the whole classroom is down 1 social studies book. So for those reasons, the school books, they just don't go home. But then that means the children, they're very limited on what they can and can't do for homework. I'm able to send home math papers all the time for homework. And I can send home those different types of reading papers where you buy them at the teacher store, where it's a couple of paragraphs with a couple of questions. But I really do prefer sending something like this home much more, because there's a variety of articles in there. The kids can read the whole magazine cover to cover, and they can do a really good question and answer sheet on the main story in here. So that is one of the ways that I'm using the TFK in the classroom, and I love it. It opens up reading to be carried out of the classroom and to continue it on at home. children just left the room. They've gone home for the day, and it was kind of a bummer because the testing took a really long time, so I did not get to the social studies lesson today. I feel like I'm just like way behind because I taught next to nothing yesterday, and today I only managed to teach really a math lesson. So I did get in the movie for the 3 branches of government this afternoon. So that's something. I got in the little movie and we talked about it briefly. But we will do our social studies lesson tomorrow. We'll do everything tomorrow. And I told the kids were getting really goofy this afternoon because the routine, 2 days in a row, the routine just got chucked out the window. And by this afternoon, especially after the specials, just before I put on the movie, it was kind of getting to be a free-for-all in here. So I told the kids, I go, tomorrow we have a normal day of school with normal lessons, no testing, no interruptions, and guys better behave because, yes, the craziness needs to stop and the distractions and the interruptions need to stop. So hopefully things will get back to normal tomorrow and we can continue and I can feel like a real teacher again and not just a glorified babysitter, which is kind of what I felt like the last couple of days. I am going to go ahead and wrap up today's teaching vlog here, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm not sure how valuable this video was. I was rambling for a little while. I did show a few things here and there, but honestly, it really was a really crazy 2 days with very little teaching. So at least you'll know what I'm doing tomorrow, Wednesday. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments you want to share down below, feel free to. And if you want to see more from the future, click the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys later.